A few years ago, a good mate of mine asked me to recommend him some comics for his daughters that they would like. I honestly couldn't answer him with anything I thought was appropriate. It's not that I couldn't think of any comics that had a female point of view or addressed female issues, it's that I couldn't think of any appropriate comics that young girls would enjoy. So that's what this video is for. Unfortunately, my daughter isn't into comics unless it's SpongeBob and nothing else, so these suggestions are based off other people's experiences and recommendations. I've tried to find links to everything I'm going to suggest here, so here are 10 comics I could find online to give to girls. The first 5 are aimed at 8 to 12 year olds and the final 5 are for adolescents. Also, of course, boys can read these too, but most of the mainstream comics are aimed at boys and there needs to be a better representation of, you know what, let's just get to the list. Number 10, Amulet. Amulet follows the adventures of Emily, who discovers a magical circular amulet that gives her powers. The first book sees a creature kidnap her mum. Emily and her brother go after her, discovering an underground world full of demons, robots and talking animals. These are graphic novels at close to 200 pages and there are 9 installments, the last of which is due to release either this year or next. Number 9, Hereville. The Hereville series follows Mirka, an 11-year-old who wants to do one thing and one thing only: fight dragons. Living in an Orthodox Jewish community, there are no dragons to be slain, but she prepares herself in other ways by standing up to bullies and battling a large pig. The first book is subtitled How Mirka Got Her Sword, and there are 2 others in the series. Number 8, Babymouse. There are 20 Babymouse books who follow the titular Babymouse as she goes on different adventures in each book. Book 1 is about her desire to become queen of the world and whether she'll be invited to an exclusive slumber party. Number 7, Princeless. Princeless follows Princess Adrienne, who questions the expectations and stereotypes associated with being a princess. When she turns 16, she is locked away in a tower so she may fulfill her destiny of being rescued by a prince. She doesn't have any of it and instead escapes herself with the aid of her guardian dragon, picks up a sword and some armor and sets out to rescue her 6 sisters. Number 6, Akissi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but we're going with Akissi. Akissi follows the titular character, Akissi. There are 3 volumes in the series so far and the first is called Tales of Mischief, which chronicle life for Akissi, based on the author's childhood growing up in the Ivory Coast. Before we get to 5 comics for adolescents, I want to let you know I have a Patreon page. I would have loved to buy these books and give in-depth reviews, but I'm still a student. An old, fat, greying student, and so I can't afford them. There are multiple tiers and I'd love it if you checked it out by clicking the link in the description. Now, on to the final 5. Number 5, 100 Demons. Demons are the life moments that haunt you, form you, and stay with you. Your worst boyfriend, football games on a warm summer night, or the day you realise your childhood is long behind you and you are officially a teenager. This book will challenge its readers and the interesting art style should keep them turning the pages. Number 4, Wandering Sun. Wandering Sun follows a young trans girl named Shuichi Notori who develops a friendship with another transgender classmate called Yoshino Tatatsuki. The series tackles the issues of coming to terms with being transgender and finding one's gender identity. Whether your child is going through something similar or not, this is a great opportunity to open them up to contemporary issues facing millions of people today. Number 3, Runaways. Runaways is a Marvel comic series that has been adapted into a TV show, but the comics are always better, so here this is. The series features a group of 6 kids who discover that their parents are part of an evil crime organization. It's kinda like X-Men for kids, good fun stuff. Number 2, Anya's Ghost. A non-popular girl, Anya meets the ghost of Emily who died 90 years earlier. At first, it seems Emily tries to help Anya out by attempting to make her popular and happy, but becomes manipulative and controlling, leading Anya to discover the truth about Emily's death. Number 1, Nimona. The titular character Nimona is a shapeshifter who joins the villain Ballister Blackheart in his plan to destroy the Institute. Where Blackheart tries to operate under his code of ethics, Nimona has no problem with killing. And they are 10 comics you can buy for your daughters, nieces, granddaughters or friends. There are hundreds more examples out there because comics are for everyone, but hopefully these 10 will light a fire and create comic book fans who love to read. What was the first comic you read? I'm interested in everyone's answer, but if you read comics as a girl, I'd love to know what the first one was. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss next week's video where we try and make sense of copyright and whether you're breaking the law right now. I've been Brinkley, have fun drawing, and I'll see you next week.